You know, this is something people may do the last minute, file their taxes. So let's share some tips for people. Major talking point, the child tax credit filing, the stimulus checks people received in January of 2021. They may have forgotten about that. What tips do you have for people when filing?
Well, the biggest thing is making sure that you do check your mail, because the IRS has been very kind to make sure that they send out those reminder letters to individuals for those child tax credits, and then also verifying what they've received for the stimulus checks. If for some reason you can't find that letter, I would encourage individuals, go back through your bank statements and look for those deposits. Child tax credits were on a monthly basis from July through the end of the year, and then the stimulus checks were provided to individuals April, May of last year. So those would be two things that you can do to look back, make sure that they're accounted for on your taxes.
Talk about why it may take longer to get your tax return.
The biggest thing is currently right now the IRS is still significantly understaffed. Although if you do file electronically, we're seeing those returns coming back in a pretty timely manner, 3 to 4 weeks. However, paper returns, if we do it the old-fashioned way, those actually take manual processing, and those take significantly longer. I've actually heard of some stories from last year where individuals still have not received their returns from last year that filed paper returns. And it's all just due to a work shortage.
Now, is it a surprise when people find out they may need to pay in?
They have been, especially with that child tax credit, because individuals typically will get that, as a lump sum when they file their taxes now, and kind of forgetting about those payments that were received July through December were advanced payments. So yeah, some folks now are finding out that, we may have to pay in when they typically got a larger refund, because you don't get as large of a credit for themselves.
If someone moved last year or sold their home, would they need to file anything? Has anything changed with how crazy the market has been?
Yeah, there's still rules in place that allow individuals to move those capital gains or the profit from selling a primary residence into a new residence. However, there is a 2-year rule that you want to follow very closely, because that rule, or the 2-year rule of selling your house and then buying a new house and carrying over that capital gain may be disqualified. That's something, if in this crazy housing market over the past couple of years, if a person has been buying and selling a house, you may want to pay much more close attention. Talk to your tax advisor just to make sure that you can still wipe out those capital gains on a primary residence.
How does someone know if they were a victim of a scam when it comes to filing taxes?
Probably the biggest thing is if you see a delay in your tax return, that might be an issue. Also, too, you would get a notification from the IRS if someone has stolen your return, or what's a little bit more common is someone else using a tax ID, your tax ID, for a tax return. So when you go and file, you'll eventually get a notice from the IRS that says this Social Security number's already been used. So those are the two key things to kind of be watching out for.
Now, Brad, I could talk business with you all day. You can contact Brad if you have any other questions, but we want to talk about the trip you took last month to Beijing. We have some pictures. Tell me about what you were doing there.
So I was very fortunate to be part of the Paralympic Games specifically for sledge hockey. I've actually been involved with Paralympic sports now for 12 years. And my role over there was actually supervising the on-ice officials for the games. It was quite an honor, quite a trip. Very happy to be back home, but it was a great 2 weeks being over there and being part of the games.
You have a life other than being a financial advisor, right, Brad?
That I do. That I do.
In its initial order, the United States Postal Service is ordering 50,000 vehicles from Oshkosh Defense to build its next-generation delivery vehicle in South Carolina. The order will include at least 10,000 electric vehicles, twice the amount USPS originally announced. But U.S. lawmakers want more.
While the remaining 90%, up to 148,000 vehicles, will be gas guzzlers. This is simply unacceptable.
Representative Carolyn Maloney, chairwoman of the Committee on Oversight and Reform, says the Postal Service should help curb climate change by adding more electric vehicles to replace its aging fleet.
The Postal Service may be basing its estimates about the cost of EVs on faulty assumptions.
The New York Democrat says the Government Accountability Office found the Postal Service used a gas price of $2.19 per gallon in its report to determine its decision-making. But the current price is almost double that.
Would the Postal Service's preference be to have 100% fleet electrification if the funding were available?
If the funding was made available to us, we would absolutely adjust our plans. Our plans today reflect what we can afford within our own resources.
Victoria Stephen, Executive Director of Next Generation Delivery Vehicle, says electric vehicles cost more to buy. She says the benefit from electric vehicles are not enough to overcome the initial costs of putting in charging stations and navigating the supply line when it comes to minerals used to make EVs. Inspector General Tammy Whitcomb says there would be cost savings if the charging infrastructure and initial purchase of the vehicles was subsidized.
We found that it would be an 11% decrease in cost for the Postal Service moving forward with an electric fleet. So it has a significant impact on the Postal Service's cost moving forward because of the fuel costs.
USPS says the agency will look into increasing the electrification of the delivery fleet.
The differences between a watch and a warning. Joining us now is Fox 11's chief meteorologist Patrick Powell with the details. And Patrick, a lot of times people get these two confused. What can you tell us?
Well, I'm going to try to make it really simple for you, Michelle, and it's something you can keep in the back of your mind. A watch is when things are coming together, and the easiest way to put this together is a watch. It's like a tornado watch. It means the ingredients are in place. Tornado watch will last a few hours, sometimes 3 to 6, 3 to 7 hours. It means be ready and aware because ingredients are in place. With a warning, it means it is happening. It only lasts for minutes. Most tornado warnings are between 15 and 30 minutes long. It means take action now. To put this in a little more visual aspect, a watch is like tacos. Like you have ground beef, you put in the crock pot, you got some avocados, some onions, cheese. The ingredients are in place, but you don't have tacos yet. Taco warning or tornado warning, it's already there. This is only going to last a couple of minutes, so it's time to take action now.